The conflict between Iran and Israel isn't your typical war. It's not fought on traditional battlefields with tanks and soldiers. It's a shadow war, one fought with assassinations, cyberattacks, propaganda, and proxy forces. But where did it all begin? To understand the deep roots of this modern standoff, we have to go back to the 20th century, before the revolution in Iran, before nuclear fears, before the modern Middle East took shape. Before 1979, Iran and Israel were actually not enemies. In fact, under the Shah, Iran's monarch, the two countries had diplomatic and even military ties. But everything changed with the Islamic Revolution. Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini overthrew the Shah and established a theocratic Islamic republic. Khomeini called Israel a Zionist regime and refused to recognize its existence. He positioned Iran as a leader of the Islamic world and firmly aligned with the Palestinian cause. Overnight, Israel went from being a quiet partner to Iran's declared enemy. From Israel's perspective, the new Iranian regime was a major threat. Israel had always faced hostility from Arab neighbors, but this was something new, a large, ideologically driven regional power now calling for Israel's destruction. Over time, the threat became more serious as Iran increased its support for anti-Israel groups and expanded its influence throughout the region. For Israel, Iran wasn't just another critic, it was now its greatest long-term strategic enemy. Central to Israel's concern is Iran's nuclear program. Iran insists that its program is peaceful, that it only wants nuclear energy. But Israel and much of the Western world aren't convinced. The fear is that once Iran develops the capability, it could secretly build a nuclear bomb. That would completely shift the power balance in the Middle East. Israel's response? A campaign of sabotage and intelligence operations. In 2010, a computer virus called Stuxnet, developed jointly by Israel and the US, damaged thousands of Iranian centrifuges. Iranian nuclear scientists have also been assassinated in mysterious attacks widely believed to be the work of Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency. But Iran isn't fighting Israel directly. Instead, it's using proxies, heavily armed groups across the Middle East that act on its behalf. The most powerful of these is Hezbollah in Lebanon, a Shia militia that has fought several wars with Israel and now holds massive political power in Lebanon. Iran also supports Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad in Gaza. It has backed Shia militias in Iraq and even armed groups in Syria and Yemen. This vast network is known as the Axis of Resistance. Through these groups, Iran surrounds Israel from multiple fronts without ever firing a direct shot. Israel's response has been calculated and forceful. Its military has launched hundreds of airstrikes in Syria, targeting Iranian convoys and weapon depots. Its intelligence operations extend into Lebanon and beyond. In Gaza, conflicts with Hamas often escalate into brief but intense wars. Israel's goal is clear: prevent Iran from establishing a direct military presence near its borders, and stop its proxies from gaining strength. These operations are rarely admitted publicly, but they're an open secret in the region. At a broader level, this conflict is also about power. Iran sees itself as a rising regional superpower, the defender of Shia Islam and resistance against Western influence. It wants to reshape the Middle East in its image, with allies in Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen. Israel, on the other hand, has made strategic moves of its own. In 2020, it signed the Abraham Accords, peace agreements with several Arab nations like the UAE and Bahrain. Behind these deals lies a shared fear of Iran. Ironically, Israel and Sunni Arab nations are now united in opposition to Iran's ambitions. Modern warfare isn't just fought with missiles. In recent years, cyber warfare has taken center stage in the Iran-Israel conflict. Iranian hackers have tried to breach Israeli water systems, power grids, and even medical infrastructure. Israel, in turn, has launched cyberattacks on Iranian government networks and industrial systems. These battles are invisible to most of the world, but they're happening every day. Then there are the assassinations. In November 2020, Iran's top nuclear scientist, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, was killed in an ambush outside Tehran. Reports suggested it was carried out using remote-controlled weapons, again, widely attributed to Mossad. The danger is that all of this, the airstrikes, the cyberattacks, the assassinations, could one day lead to a wider war. In fact, there have been several close calls. Every few months, tension spikes, rockets are fired from Gaza, or Israel hits a new target in Syria, or Iranian proxies retaliate in Iraq. But so far, full-scale war has been avoided. Why? Because both sides know the cost would be catastrophic. Iran is a powerful nation with millions of people and deep regional alliances. Israel has a strong military, advanced defense systems, and, though unconfirmed, nuclear weapons of its own. Still, one question remains: is war inevitable? Many analysts say the conflict is entering a more dangerous phase. Iran is enriching uranium at higher levels than ever before. If it crosses the threshold and actually builds a bomb, Israel may feel forced to act, just as it destroyed Iraq's reactor in 1981 and Syria's in 2007. But this time, the fallout could be far greater. Others believe diplomacy can still work. The Iran nuclear deal, known as the JCPOA, once held Iran's nuclear program in check until the US withdrew from it in 2018. Whether the deal can be revived remains uncertain. In the end, this is a conflict driven by fear, ideology, and power. Iran believes it is resisting oppression and protecting its allies. Israel believes it is defending its very existence. Both sides feel justified. And yet, caught between them are millions of civilians, entire nations, and the fragile balance of the Middle East. The shadow war continues, hidden in headlines, intelligence reports, and encrypted servers. But make no mistake, its consequences could one day be very real for the entire world. This is the History Room. Subscribe if you want more deep dive documentaries on the conflicts that shape our world. History isn't just about the past, it's how we understand what's coming next.